afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining the first Learning Lab session in month of May. I would like to read the Toastmasters International Recording Statement first. Because this virtual Toastmasters meeting is being recorded, Toastmasters International requires we read this statement. By attending this virtual meeting, you agree to the privacy policy of Toastmasters International as well as the unassociated remote hosting service. Some of your personal information, such as name, image, and any shared messages, may be shared with other meeting participants and will be recorded by Toastmasters International, who may use the recording in the future as it sees fit. Your remote attendance hereby discharges Toastmasters International from all claims, demands, rights, promises, damages, and liabilities arising out of or in connection with the use or distribution of said video recordings, including but not limited to any claims for invasion of privacy, appropriation of likeness, or defamation. If you don't want your likeness to be shown, please turn off your camera. Thank you, everyone. We do have two speeches today. Our first speaker is Anita Works Sally. Anita Works Sally is a distinguished Toastmaster and area director. Anita has a proven track record of building strong, sustainable club practices and guiding environments where clubs take ownership of their growth. Today, Anita will share the club membership building program, Beat the Clock, so that every leader here, whether established, emerging, or exploring, sees how their club can carry momentum forward and build a successful year beyond July 1st. Please join me in welcoming Anita Works Sally.
Thank you, Madam Program Quality Director. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, guests. My name is Annetta Works Sally, and I am excited about being here today with each and every one of you. Whether it is morning, afternoon, evening, or late night, thank you that you found the value of investing in yourself, taking it back to your clubs and sharing that with them. Beat the clock. By a show of hands, how many of you are excited about July 1st? Oh, that is wonderful. Wonderful. Now, you thought I was going to talk about June 30th. Well, we'll get to slide that in. But I want you to set your focus, your eyes, your heart on July 1st. We think of January 1st, new beginnings, new year, new everything, reflection, consecration time. And that is true. But in Toastmasters, that happens during Beat the Clock. Now you said, Annetta, beat the clock. Where's the urgency? We're here at the finish line almost. We've got things to do. We've got club growth, club growth still happening. We've got members that didn't renew by March 30th. We've got new clubs waiting, getting their documentation all together. payments, renewals, all of this. And you're talking about reflection, taking a pause, new. We got to finish what we started. That is true. But I want you to look at it not through urgency, not through numbers, but the lens of opportunity for what is coming. July 1st is coming. Today, we focus on membership building through structure, not pressure. I don't know about you, but I don't need to be thinking about heart attacks, high blood pressure, stress. I need to be positioned to listen with intentionality before I do anything else. So this is Beat the Clock is about listening. What have we heard? What are we hearing? And what do we want to hear July 1st? I have a framework in which we are all familiar with. It's not my framework, it's Toastmasters' framework for training, and it fits very well here. So let's take a look at that today, starting first. Club officer training. Everybody complete both? That's what I'm talking about. You set yourself up for success right there. Hit the slide. So this isn't foreign to you before, during, or after, is it? No. Before, during, and after, and sustainability. How many of you, by a show of hands, have worked with club retention?
Oh, we all should be doing it.
Thank you, Marjorie.
For
That's right.
in our individual clubs, we work with intention, club retention.
That's right. And with intention. So thank you for that. I'm going to quote you on that, Marge. I'm going to quote you on that. It is everyone. Club retention is everyone. I said, I hope no one says club growth director. I hope no one says VP of membership. I hope no one says the president, because it's everyone and not just the officers. Members have a stake in this too. With, with good training and mentoring, members get off the ground and get the mindset of retention from the beginning. That's how they got there. New members get to clubs through before, during, and after. Okay. We're going to look at these, breaking down each one, but even though you see boxes, think of this as a flow, a continuous, repeatable, transferable, sustainable flow. Because one, belonging, it is not accidental, it's structured. And that's what before, during, and after. Now you said, Annetta, I thought we were talking about Beat the Clock. Beat the Clock is one of Toastmasters' club membership building programs. Does anybody know the other two?
Smedley Award, Talk Up Toastmasters.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Marjorie, you're knocking it out of the park. And I love the heads. Everybody's agreeing. So they knew that too. So thank you for being the spokesman today.
Well, I had to
Spokesperson
think a
today.
minute to get it out of from my brain somewhere to my mouth. It took me a moment to think.
We're a team today. And you are just leading the charge by being the voice, but the heads are in total agreement.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Members don't just come and sit and be expected to get information and go on their merry way. Members are looking for a sense of belonging, no matter how long that is. 6 months, a year, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And you said, what membership is that, Annetta? Whether they come for a speech craft. People connect to Toastmasters through our many programs, but all must have a sense of belonging however they connect, join, and stay. This doesn't happen by accident. It's through structure. So we're going to look at the structure of the Beat the Clock framework. Before, during, and after. Vicki, can you tell me what you see under before?
Sure. Prepare the experience for it being readiness.
Readiness, before. We want to be ready. And this is the club meeting experience. Let me say that so this is clear. Where we are seated looking at this framework is at the Toastmaster meeting, the before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting. Okay? So thank you, Vicki. Prepare the experience. This is the readiness. This is where we're in the gate. Before we get in the gate of the meeting, we have the before the experience, the readiness. Charla, can you read during, please? What's under the during?
Yes. What's under during? During is deliver the experience, engagement.
Thank you, Charla. And I know this is all of this is your genius zone, but I know in during, this is where Charla thrives. You get guests and members in a room, and you let Charla do what Charla does best. How am I able to say that about Charla? Because I've been in meetings where Charla is a functionary and she doesn't just shine as Toastmaster. She shines in whatever functionary role she has taken for that particular meeting. When you know your members, you know where they shine best. You also know where growth opportunities are for new members, and you extend those opportunities. That's all done in the before when you're preparing the experience. What is one of the tools that helps us prepare the experience or documents what's going to happen during the meeting? What is the document we have and prepare for the meeting?
An agenda.
Woo! There it is, the agenda. Because the agenda says who, what, when, where, how, right? Okay. And when we have that all prepared, everyone confirmed in their rightful roles, speakers and evaluators have shared information, the mentor has prepared the member or the speaker, and the Toastmaster is ready to lead the charge. The agenda shows that. So there are behind the scene things that happen before the preparedness, the readiness of the meeting. During, this is where we deliver what the agenda says. Now, how many of you have experienced a change of plans? Do you get it before or at the threshold of the start time
Yeah,
and during the
yeah,
meeting?
at the threshold and start time. Rarely before.
Because we have the agenda, everyone has confirmed, we're ready to go. Boop. Everybody's coming in. timeliness matters. That's before the meeting even begins. Is everybody there before it starts? Share the show time for your meetings, Vicki. What's the show time?
Oh golly, our meeting starts at 7:30, but I'm working on it as Vice President of Education, um, straight after the previous meeting.
I love that. Everybody shows up right after the end of the, and we're going to talk about that in the after experience. But I'm looking for the show time for the meeting.
Well, we have our meeting at 7:30 p.m. And so our club meets beforehand for dinner. So people come and have a chat, have coffee, have dinner. And so we're already preparing for the meeting beforehand.
Oh, I love this. So showtime is the dinner time, the gathering of everyone. And what does that do?
Oh, we're already started. We're already excited for what's going to be happening.
You're setting the atmosphere in that dinner time, and you're also ensuring that everybody is there for the start time. Show time and start time. Umanga, I know you're smiling, and I know what is your club's show time and start time. Thank you, Vicki.
I always ask everyone to show up 15 minutes early. The reason we all like to talk before that, sometime if we do not have all the meeting roles on that moment, we need a time to set up who is going to do what, figure it out who is going to do what. If we couldn't do it early, we would not be able to start the meeting on time. That's why I always ask them to show up 15 minutes early, and I open the Zoom early. Then it would really help us to begin at least 2-3 minutes later. That's why I ask. In Toastmasters, we want to start on time, end on time. That's the productive meeting is. I hope I answer your question, Anita.
Oh, both of you answered the question, and you gave wonderful examples of how you ensure. And I love that, Vicki. I know I'd always be on time because I love to eat and talk. So you're giving me a space to do that. So at the start time of the meeting, Annetta is ready, happy, and ready to carry out the experience. Charlotte, I'd like your thoughts on the during engagement section.
Thank you so much for this lovely question. Engagement. I love engagement. Engagement is something that you're doing right now. You're actively looking at who's here. You're engaging and asking everyone to share their thoughts, their wonderful ideas, because you know the most important thing, the most valuable thing that Toastmasters has is it's Toastmasters. Yay! So let's share that platform with our brilliant Toastmasters so we can learn and grow together. Your perfect presentation today, engaging everyone, is the perfect example of engaging the member. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. You see, wherever you put Charlotte, she is going to shine because engagement is just what she breathes. It's in her DNA. I hope, and Yannicka, I haven't forgotten you. I got you. Before is the readiness. Is every member of the club ready? Not just the officers. I'm going to keep reiterating this because we look at the officers and the functionaries, but are the members ready to deliver the experience? And that's the engagement. That's where the soft skills, the listening, the welcoming, the body language really shines through our gestures. Are we welcoming, whether in person or virtual? What is your club's wow as far as the welcoming, Yannicka?
Thank you so much for that question, Annalena. What I would say is the welcome for our club, the in-person club that we have 1 hour, is that it's all expat people who are not from Thailand. So it's a community where Thais and non-Thais get to meet, and it's grew from a small from 15 members to now about 25, 26, and the room had become so small. I think it was just that we were able to connect right away. And as soon as you walked in, everyone was so welcoming. You say hello and they show you to your table. So.
Thank you for speaking to the in-person experience of the welcome. Eye contact, I'm talking about facial, handshaking. We're getting back to that more so. The pandemic really hurt us in that department, and we had to be creative with what the welcome looks like. In person, when we were able to come back in person, we had masks, so our face was hidden. There were people still that had an anxiety of touching. I was one. This had an effect on me because, like Charla, I love to greet, I love to smile, and I love to engage with people in their space as much as they allow me. And when that was hindered, I really had to be creative and I had to ask for help. That's the most important thing in engagement. This is not a silo job or role. Everyone, the touch points from the greeting at the door to the sitting down, the name tag. I remember my first club guest experience, they had a name tent and it said honorable guest. It didn't have my name, but I sure like that honorable guest. If you don't have a network Sally written out, honorable guest will do. But the second time that I returned, which was the next meeting, there was a printed name tag, not handwritten, printed. And I thought, my second time, wow. Just like we said, after my first experience, they prepared for my next experience. So I moved from visitor to, or yes, a visitor first time, guest second time. So let's now move to the after. Sustain the experience, continuity. What's repeatable in your club? What's transferable in your club experience? And what sustains that cycle? Anybody just kind of want to just talk about briefly? This is really important. I hope you didn't come to think I was going to do a training. No. We are having conversations, a conversation today about this framework, and I want everyone to hear from you. This is recorded, correct? Good.
Yes.
Marjorie.
The after sustain the experience continuity is the continuing of the conversation. In a couple of my clubs, we call it Afterglow. One of my clubs meets once a month all in person, once a month all on Zoom. When we're in person, we adjourn, but we stay and talk. We stay and connect. We reflect on others' table topic responses or speeches. We give more feedback. We have light snacks. Usually it may be just water and cookies or water and wrapped candy. So they're available before the meeting, and then we usually pick up a cookie or two, water after the meeting. My Zoom meetings We keep the Zoom open after we adjourn. And again, members stay for the further connection and conversation. Again, we share. That really was a nice table topic response. You're really growing. I loved your speech. I learned from your speech. So we do that in our afterglow. We keep the Zoom open or stay in person with light snacks for the continuing conversation connections.
Oh my gosh, I don't know about anybody else. Thoughts on that afterglow?
To me, the afterglow blends with showtime. This showtime before the start and the afterglow after the end. My clubs called it meet and greet time. I'm going to change it to showtime. Showtime connections and see if anybody notices. I do the agenda for several of my clubs. So I'm going to change it to Showtime Connections instead of meet and greet, which is 15 minutes, as was mentioned before the start time.
Oh my gosh, so many nuggets in here. I need to stay on time myself, but I am so glad, Marjorie, you shared that. You heard something, grabbed it, and immediately knew where to put it. And you sharing the afterglow. I love that because there are times that I have times that I want to share feedback. I'm not the general evaluator, or I was not the general evaluator, nor was I the speech evaluator, but I can share in the afterglow. And everything stays on time. Those that can stay, stay. Those that can't, don't feel some kind of way because everybody gets an afterglow, even if it's 2 or 3 minutes. The meeting ends when it's supposed to end. That's the respect that we show to our guests and our members. But we also give space if they have a couple of minutes and they want to share. Also, the great space for feedback. People will tell you about their experience in the afterglow. Marjorie, I'm taking ownership of that one. But guess what? I thank you for sharing.
It's not mine. Bill
Oh,
Cordis, a Toastmaster in District 12. I was a member of a club with Bill Cordis, and this was way back in the 90s. He first brought it up, the
wow.
afterglow.
And it's still working. So that's a good thing. Before, during, and after, readiness, engagement, and continuity. So we talked about this experience, the during. It's part of a larger phase that's continually happening. Those 3 membership programs that we talked about, Marjorie shared the other 2, the Smedley Award, the Talk Up Toastmasters, and Beat the Clock, all have the same mission, the guest to member journey. From the first visit to long-term commitment. As you can see on the slide, it moves the individual. I spoke briefly about the visitor, the first-time visitor. In that, what is the what is the mindset of the first-time visitor? Anybody want to take a stab at that? Because there's no wrong answers today.
What am I getting into? What is this?
Exactly. Umanga asked us, how did you find out about this? We said where we saw it, where we got it. But that first, we're members now. So members have hubs or spaces where they can get information, whether it's individual, the district's website where all the learning labs, education programming happens. We know where to go once we're in as a member. But that first time visitor sees us how, learns about us how.
They learn about us through how we act and what we say.
Before they get to the club.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. So let me go back to my framework.
Okay.
How does a visitor connect? How do they see us?
Social media, word of mouth.
Yes. Thank you, Marjorie, for both of those. So there is a visual, and then there is a
Hearing.
voice.
Yes.
Go say, please, Among Us. What were you saying?
Hearing what you hear and what they listen, right?
Yes. They heard about us or they saw something that attracted them to learn more. And we know they want more because they've clicked a link that registered them, or they show up, or well, before they show up, they complete a form if you have a way for guests to find your location. We used to be very open, and some clubs still display. They may have a place that they've been in for a while, and it puts up Toastmasters meet on Thursdays here. Join us. The establishment or the location, and that's great too. That's that continuity. We're not there, but there's something there that says on Thursdays, 7 o'clock, Toastmasters is happening. Toastmaster clubs are engaging. This is their engagement night. I thought about you when I said that, Charlotte. It's the engagement night. So a visitor is curious. Now they're at your door, Zoom door or meeting door location. They are greeted. We've rolled out our red carpet virtually and or in person if you have a hybrid experience. What does it take for a hybrid experience? I don't want to negate that because there are clubs that are able to do that and do that well. A hybrid experience, what would you say requires the before work? What does that look like?
Setting up all the technology to make the in-person and the online feel the same energy and engagement.
Perfect. Yannicka, you travel Toastmasters.
Yeah.
And what has been your experience?
I actually like the hybrid meetings if they can do it really well. I've seen that some clubs struggle with hybrid because they try to only show the people who are speaking and they don't show the people who are sitting down. So it's really difficult. What I've noticed in Australia is they have two cameras, one for the speaker view and one for the audience.
So I see you, you see me. I
Yeah.
hear you, you hear me. And you're right, when it is done well, I feel like I'm sitting in the room. So then I can't be lax on the camera because it's just like in person. You're going to see me doing every, or at least what's in this box, what I'm doing. Exactly. Umanga, do you have some thoughts on a hybrid experience when it works well?
Yes, like Yannicka explained, there need to be a both side camera, so it would really help. One of my club, that club had a successful hybrid meeting. Normally we do have around 20 members always show up in the club meeting. It went very well. Also the place of the podium, we always confirm with before we begin the meeting, and can all of you hear us, because sometime when we were in Zoom land, we cannot hear them. Sometimes when they talk in the meeting, it is very destructive to the Zoom land, the audience. We always pay attention to these things and communicate before we begin the meeting. Even during, if anything happened, we try to say it in very positive way. If I am the general evaluator, I would say in a positive way, next time we would avoid these things. Otherwise, if it continue, we would not get guests to convert into the members. That's why we try to stay in a positive and constructive feedback about our meeting. I hope I answer your question.
Oh, for me, yes. Everyone's responses contributed because in a hybrid experience, you're working two different environments that require clear audio as well as visual. Because when the online audience can't hear, this goes back to inflection. Being able to cast your voice to the back of the room. Even if I'm the speaker virtually, I must speak in such a way that all can hear, not just those here on the Zoom, but also even with that, good quality equipment so that it minimizes or eliminates, we hope, any technical issues during the experience. All of these things matter, and it must be done in a positive, constructive, building way because you're moving this visitor who has returned, now a guest, because you gave them something when they were curious that they want to build upon. How many of you have a limit to how many times a guest can engage in your club meetings without membership?
I would say 3 because some clubs we still do, like in Bangkok, some of our clubs still do it to three visit. Yeah.
3 visits, okay. Charlotte, you
Yeah.
had your hand raised. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm a member of several clubs, and one of the advanced clubs that we're in, Dining Out Toastmasters, the premier leadership club in District 56, a person can come and visit the club as often as they like, but they can't participate because that's limited to members. So that promote the fear of missing out. Do you want to participate? Let's join and become a member. And membership has its privileges. So join us and you get full access to everything the club offers. So that's one club strategy.
Beautiful. Yannicka, thank you for sharing 3. And I'm sure it was for that reason because as much as we love our curious visitors that are looking and our guests who have returned because they got great nuggets and great attention when they were curious and they want a little bit more, we want to always encourage membership by showing the benefits of a membership. And that's where the agenda comes in. A person who's curious may be a great communicator, but they want to develop their communication skills in such a way that they can now advocate, whether it's a job or community, they want to be able to advocate. So they need a safe space. But again, a Toastmaster membership is more than just our agenda. What are the other activities that guests miss out on when they don't take advantage of a membership? I'm going to say quickly. Charla?
Mentorship, mentorship, and immediate feedback. If you get to speak, Toastmasters gives you feedback that you can use later that day, tomorrow, immediately. Thank you. I got excited about that, as you can tell.
Exactly. Well, I was doing the same thing. You can't see my happy dance, but yes. Mentorship. What else is a benefit that comes with membership?
Pathways, education. I happen to like the online pathways, and I'm very familiar with the old traditional competent communication manual, but I like pathways.
Is our learning platform. Pathways is the education learning platform in which we have multiple ways of learning. We have our traditional, yay. We have our new paths that have been designed and structured in such a way that there's a little, I won't say a little, there are more opportunities for more growth when you use the 6 that have been raised up out of the traditional into this new learning experience. What? Now we have mentorship, education. What's another benefit of a Toastmaster membership that guests miss out on?
The speaking opportunity, the prepared speeches, stage time.
Oh, I love that. Stage time. Absolutely. I have a pop-up here. I apologize. Stage time. Is it just only within the club meeting that there's stage time?
No.
Donna?
I think it's after as well. Like after the meeting, you can get feedback from other members.
Exactly. What's another opportunity for stage time, Vicki? We have prepared speaking, feedback.
Well, but you often, I've found that I'm invited sometimes to go out and speak to other places. So outside of the club.
Woo! Outside of the club. Exactly. And there's a plethora of opportunities outside of the Toastmasters Club experience for stage time. Umanga. What's another opportunity, a benefit?
Table topics.
That's right. Because visitors in some clubs don't get that opportunity. Some clubs allow them to just watch. Some clubs allow them only table topic time. But there again, membership always is, they get first dibs. I'm just going to be honest, because they invested in themselves and that club meeting is for them. Visitors and guests, you get to see what happens and experience it, but we don't let you taste too much without what?
Membership payment.
Commitment. and with commitment comes the payment. And everybody benefits then. The new member, the club, as well as the district and Toastmasters overall. There's one more benefit that I'm looking for. Two, best kept secret.
Evaluations?
Marjorie, would you say?
Evaluations?
We spoke about that benefit, the feedback. Yes. Okay. What else?
May I say, when we're talking about stage time, one of the fantastic opportunities that we have as Toastmasters is that we have an opportunity to be on the largest stage of all, the World Championship of Public Speech. Wow! 30,000 times you get to compete against 30,000 other people to be the world champion of public speech. That is a phenomenal opportunity that is only for a member.
The only way you can even journey to that stage is through membership. Charla, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, there's two more benefits, and they were actually the ones that the reason I came to Toastmasters. We talked about the glow time. You're giving feedback, and you also get to
Networking.
Leadership.
Umanga.
Networking. Create.
Networking.
Leadership growth.
Those were the two. I knew you guys would get it. Best kept secret, we think of Toastmasters, and many times that's the language we convey unless we really think benefits when someone asks, what is Toastmasters? Oh, public speaking. We're doing a disservice when we just say it's public speaking. Networking and leadership development. Toastmasters is that three-prong. I always say, meet people, grow people, and build things together. Speaking of building things, let's continue on this. Umanga, time check, please.
You do have a 13 minutes, Anata. You're good.
How much? 13?
13 minutes, yes.
1-3. Got it. Okay. So let's get this visitor through this journey. So they said, what does it take? What needs to happen, or what is said to the guests that moves them to, from perspective? They've been thinking about it because they've been coming. That's that perspective. So if we allow them in that loop, how do they get from perspective to new member? What happens? What must take place?
Application.
Before you give them an application, what happens?
You have to invite them to be a member.
Oh, invite to be a member.
Yes, yes. The ask, the invitation, the offer. We got benefits. We offer these to our members. We offer these to our guests to become members. You see how this is working, y'all? But we can't, they don't get in unless they get invited or asked. If you let them come 2 times, when does the ask come?
First time they're there.
Thank you, Marjorie. The very first time. And you said, well, Annette, you said that's the curious. Well, they're curious to know what we can deliver. But they also have their own agenda. They have a goal or an objective, right? They have probably Toastmasters on a vision board, or maybe not Toastmasters, but they may have personal development on their board, or growth. I want a promotion. It can be worded in different ways, but it all can be done here where? Toastmasters. When we communicate our benefits, when we make the invitation, when we celebrate their investment, when we onboard them into the journey, Toastmasters journey, and when we guide them with clear direction, collaboration, they not only learn more about us, but we learn more about them. Remember at the beginning, I said, I know Charlotte's Genius Zone because I've seen it in action. I've experienced it personally. Engagement, engagement, engagement. Every member has a level of engagement. Charlotte is off the charts. We love her for that. Umanga, how she engages behind the scene, moving this process along. The mentoring, making sure new members are ready to have a member. Umanga, what did you just recently do for a member of your club?
I did the induction ceremony.
And why?
Member feel welcome with the ceremony to in front of whole audience and in front of members. Then it feels the being a proud member. When I became a Toastmaster, I had an induction ceremony. I know how did I feel. I want other members to feel same way. That's why I do.
What was that word in the beginning I had? It is not accidental, it's structured. Begin with a B.
Begin.
We want our member or our guests to, we invite them to come into our club,
Become a,
belong.
or belong, yes.
An induction ceremony is like that icing on the cake. As I don't know if anybody remembers this, Shirley, not Shirley, but holy gosh. Help me, Marjorie, the movie, the show Flying Nun, Sally Fields.
Yes.
When she got her first Oscar, you love me. You really, or no, you like me. You really, really like me. Members feel that when you ask, you invite them, whether it's a verbal invitation or they saw something, it it touches them because, like I said, they're looking for something and they're curious about who can help them. When they come into the club experience that we, the members, have prepared for, it was intentional for our members for growth, but the guest experience to add, to build our membership with more, not just more members, but more of people who are looking to grow. And your club may be the club that they see themselves in when you help them belong. Induction ceremonies are a time of celebration for their commitment to growth. I'm excited about this. Let me continue. You have them as a new member, you engage them. Remember, this process must be repeatable, transferable, and sustainable. We must do this in a timely manner. Clubs that are below the minimum of or the standard of 20 members, the fewer members you have, it's harder to do this because there's less mentors. If you got, think about this, if you got 3 guests and you did the ask, Marjorie, and all 3 said yes on their first time, for a club that does not have but 6 or 7 members, what is the hardest thing for that club to do with these 3 new members they got?
Give them the mentorship orientation they deserve because of too few existing, and you're spread around. You're over, the current members are
Overwhelmed and may not have that shine where mentoring someone new, onboarding them, because now the VPE is overwhelmed with making sure getting their path and onboarding process together. This is why our district, where the district comes in. Umanga, what are the things the district offers, not just to clubs that have few members, but supports all clubs? What are some of the things the district does?
District conduct training to aware them, like a learning lab session to aware them, pathways session to help them. If they really need any direction, district provide these things and connect with clubs to figure it out. How can, as a district, we can help them to achieve their excellence. That's what district does.
There we go. To move from new member to an engaged member. Mentorship does that. When there are few experienced people in the club to do that, district steps in through the level of area director, division director, and our trio, club growth, program quality, and clear vision through the district director. I'm excited. And this is the cycle, or this is the momentum that needs to be repeatable, transferring, being able to move visitor and retain. This is how members stay. They always should feel like they matter, they belong, and they have not just purpose to Toastmasters, but their purpose is bigger outside of Toastmasters. The club experience is where they practice, hone the skills, grow, develop, and meet others for collaborative efforts and for leadership opportunities in the club, outside of the club, as far as outside in the district and beyond. Wrapping this up, I will make sure that the people in this room want to get these slides. We talked about all these things with your help. Again, this is not new. These are things that we do, and these are things that we may struggle with for one reason or another. But as we said, the district is here to help. We talked about retention conversation starter. What can we do to prepare before? How can we support them during? What will keep them coming back after? Every member must own their growth process or journey. Again, this is a flow that happens. And you didn't hear me say much about the Vice President of Public Relations. Their mission, even at the club level, is to protect the Toastmaster brand through e-communications, written communications. However, our brand is important and it must be maintained and never tarnished in any way. Questions? Okay. Well, I welcome everyone into the room that came. Marjorie, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Annetta. Beautifully presented regarding the membership building, regarding Beat the Clock.
And this is how we beat it.
Yeah, it's how we beat it. I thoroughly enjoyed how you presented how we beat the clock.
And don't just think of it, we're trying to get to June 30. No, this presentation has more components. We'll do it another time. We're going to stay on time. I just like to thank any questions, get them to Umanga. I'll be happy to answer, or the district leaders will be happy to answer them, because I'm not the owner of this. I'm just a guide, and there's all of us, as we demonstrated in our meeting today, can see that it takes all to achieve and deliver in excellence. Madam Program Quality Director.
Thank you so much, Anita. I have a short story to share. When in 2020, during pandemic, when I was a member in District 8, Anita was a PRM. As soon as I heard Anita's PRM speech in the annual business meeting, I connected with Anita. Such a energetic voice and the energy in the room that impressed me. Still, we are very good friends. We have communication, and from that day, I love Anita's voice. Frankly speaking, it provides me a lot of energy. So, Anita, you did a fantastic speech, and you are a phenomenal speaker. Thanks for being a special speaker in our learning lab. Thanks again, Anita. Shala, floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I would just quickly like to echo, outstanding, Annetta. Whoop. Just amazing. Now I have the honor and the privilege to introduce our next phenomenal speaker. we have District 100's current Program Quality Director, the outstanding, distinguished Toastmaster, Umanga de Silva, the Learning Lab Coordinator, the Learning Lab Visionary, again, amazing Umanga de Silva. Umanga, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for such a fantastic introduction, Shala. Shala and I both conduct District 100 Learning Lab. Today I'm going to talk about moments of truth. Like Anita's session, there are so many common things going to be there, but I love to ask you all to think about your first moment when I remind these things. How did you feel? I ask you to recall your moments. Let's begin. First time I heard moments of truth, that word phrase. 6 years ago, when I was a first time area director, district director James Childress called me when I shared the challenges I have been going through with my clubs and what I can see. James talked to me about moments of truth. That is the first time I heard this word phrase. I like you to recall your memory. What was the first time you heard moments of truth? Frankly speaking, I didn't know 6 years ago what is the moments of truth. I was honest, I shared with him. Then he explained to me. When he explained, the idea came to my mind was I am familiar with some points he is explaining to me, but it was not 100% I was aware about that. As soon as we hang up the call, I Google search and I check what is the word of moments of truth. I love that word phrase. I don't know why I like it. Maybe MOT when it to abbreviate. Or I was very curious. Then I searched it. How did it relate to Toastmasters? When I look at it, I was so impressed. I learned that one and I started to apply this moment of truth to clubs where I was member. That really works. Today, I am going to remind you all these are the points we have to remind ourselves. These are not a new thing. We already know. The only thing I realize, we have to remind ourselves, not only ourselves, our club members. And we have to do this one continuously. That is the thing to sustain quality club. Let's begin. There are 6 key points in moment of truth. It Toastmaster International categorize it. First one is first impression. These point also Anita talk about it. I wanted you to again think about first impression before you begin start being a Toastmaster. The first moment you join to your first Toastmaster meeting as a guest. Do you want to share with us how did it happen? I like to call Janika. Please go back to maybe many years ago as a guest in your first Toastmasters meeting.
Thank you, Umanga. Let me go back to about 12 years ago. I started Toastmasters at the age of 18, and I was walking into a Toastmasters club in Switzerland. That time, I was doing it as an after school activity where I wanted to improve my public speaking and leadership skills. And that was where I found the club. It was right in my university. So it was a group of people who were from different year level, and it was a great fun that as soon as I walked in, they were all welcoming.
Thank you. What about you, Shala? We love to hear from you too.
The first time I heard from Moments of Truth again was in actually, it was in my second Toastmasters club. The first club I was in was a corporate club. That was the company that I was working for at the time. And the club struggled a whole lot. It wasn't until I was part of a successful club that actually did a Moments of Truth that I thought, hey, maybe this could help the struggling club. And it did. So my second advanced club introduced me to Moments of Truth. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing with us, Shala. Also, what about you, Marjorie? I can see you are so energetic and happy to share with us. So why don't you share?
I don't remember the first time I heard Moments of Truth. I've been a Toastmaster over 33 years,
Wow.
and Moments of Truth has been with Toastmasters for possibly more than 33 years. I do remember when I was introduced to a one-page document that described the 6 different areas of Moments of Truth. I like that, and I use it in several of our clubs for members to just rate meetings periodically with the one-page Moments of Truth, which I like using.
Let's go back there. Yes, it is an evaluation guide or framework that evaluate clubs that really help clubs to stay in a quality club. It is a one-page point form. Everything is there, and that is really helpful to check mark, tick, tick, tick. Are we following these things? And follow up guide. That is true. And I believe you are there. I like to hear your first impression as a guest when you joined to your first Toastmasters meeting. How did you feel?
I felt warm and fuzzy, and it's because of that welcoming experience. They reached out to me earlier that day and to ensure that I would be at the meeting and that I knew how to get there because this was in person. And just that, I was like, wow, okay, they're on it. So it was very warm and fuzzy. When I arrived, there was someone outside waiting, like they were, of course, expecting me, but they were intentionally looking for me. Made sure I had a special spot to park in up close and walked in with me. So I didn't have that coming in, new person, guest look. We were talking and laughing and walked right into the meeting door. And that's when I saw the honorable guest name tag. The agenda was there. And I don't know if anybody remembers the little tab that had where you did all your voting was laid out there. Toastmaster pen, bottle of water. And I did arrive 10 minutes before the start time. So my show time was 10 minutes before, and I was greeted in that way. They were ready.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you so much sharing your first impression. Did you see how that is important? How, how did Anita look at it according to what Anita observed? How did she feel? Same thing I had when I attended my first time in Toastmasters meeting. I was a guest. I love when people smile. I feel welcome. Not only that, I feel very comfortable because all are strangers. I didn't know anyone. Not only that, when I look at the organized room, there was a banner. When I start walking from the road, I can see until the building, the place, location, there were directional signs. It was a well-organized meeting. I was very comfortable walking towards this place, and when I saw the beautiful smile, welcoming, and how cozy it was, even though I didn't know these people where I walked in, I feel very welcome and feel very happy moment, and I was excited to see what is going to happen. Also, I wanted to share with you that first impression I always called love at first sight, because the feeling I had, phenomenal. And that is the moment I decided I wanted to be a part of this group. I believe you all, that's the place where you decided I wanted this group. I wanted to be a member when they invited you at the end of the meeting. As we talk about guest book, tags there, everything in-person meeting. But today, after pandemic, when we have this Zoom learned meeting, this is little bit different, the way our first impression. But still we can practice first impression, communicate with guests, welcome them, ask them to talk, and break the ice, because I have seen when some guests arrive, they don't want to talk. They wanted to listen. They wanted to be there first day. That is fine, but it is good as a club for us to offer to see how they're comfortable to participate in things. Sometimes some members are, some guests are completely fine to participate, but not everyone. They like their silence. That helps them to build their confidence. So we have to understand these things. That's why first impression is really important. That first impression, if you do not provide as a club on that moment, you would never get a second chance to build that one. That's why that is really important. Also, we Anita talk about the ask members to speak and ask them to join. These are very important. That is true. But we have to remind ourselves when we have a guest. First impression is the number one. We have to make it happen as a club. The second one is member orientation. In there also we talk about induction. Everyone like to feel comfortable and recognition. Imagine first, second day in front of everyone as a ceremony when the club induct the induction ceremony and welcome the member. How did that member feel, a proud member in Toastmasters? I know how did I feel. Not only that, I have that Toastmasters pin in-person meeting what I received. Today in the Zoom meeting, we cannot do that things. That is true. But still we can do the induction ceremony. Still we can recognize. Also we can assign a mentor. Assign a mentor is very important thing. Think about when you walk into the place, you don't know anyone. But as a club, assign a mentor for you. You feel little bit comfortable because you are going to communicate with that person and talk about things. You are going to share your goals. You are going to share your strength. You are going to share your weakness. You have to open yourself to being comfortable with the person you don't know before. But think about you come out from your comfort zone. How did that feel? Everyone love to have a network, talk to people, have fun, entertain. That is true. But think about these Toastmasters, these tiny, tiny things. There is a real behind for these things. And it really helps for us to improve ourselves apply ourselves. Not only that, support to another member when we have a guest, that person can go through in this path to improve their journey. It doesn't matter it is in communication or leadership, but it really helps to another person to go through that journey. That's why this membership orientation really helps. Also, everyone love to have a goodies. We call goodies. Or tiny, like a pin, ribbon. Everyone love to have. I remember in my first Toastmaster meeting when I saw the banner, and banner has many ribbon like a President Distinguished Club. I had no idea what it was. But when I saw that colorful ribbons there and lot of welcoming things, I wanted to collect things, right? It is in human nature. Everyone love to have a pin and ribbons. Also in the club, when I saw that, they asked to participate in the table topic session as a guest in my first day. And when they asked to vote tiny pieces, the best table topic, best evaluator, best speaker. And when they collect these things and at the end, when they give a ribbon, how did you feel when you achieve like a Toastmaster, that Toastmaster meeting the best table topic speaker? How did you feel? Also, I remember one of my club had the 3 trophies, and these trophies we can bring it home, but we can keep 1 week, and next week when we return, we can bring it back. So I was so proud with these things. I felt like I did something. These audience, it was valued, and I, 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 I was happy about myself. Think about these things when it happened. Also, we talk about having a mentor and education programs and recognition. We talk about recognition. In education program, we always encourage our members to work on pathways, introduce pathways, because it is not like the legacy book program. Everyone knows how to use the book and it is very comfortable. But when Toastmaster International introduced pathways, there was some difficulties and they really need to work on these things. They need help. When there is someone who is dedicated to show support, that I have seen how members feel comfortable. Sometimes we don't like to share with others. I don't know how to use computer. I don't know how to log in here. I don't know how to do that. Because in the legacy program, we already had a book. We filled this book and very comfortable. When someone is there, pathway ambassador, pathway chair in our club, that really helpful. I can see some members in my club that time, I'm talking about 2017-18, they wanted to do speeches, but they were struggling. I was volunteer sometime to show them. I brought my computer, I log into mine and explain step by step. That really helped. People love to work on these things because everyone wanted to improve their communication. They know how would it help when we do our speeches, when we start speaking roles in any meeting role, when we do start these things, how did it help us? That's why we all are still a member in Toastmaster International and we attend our club's meetings. I hate to miss my some club meeting because I feel like if I miss one meeting, I was like something lacking in my mind. I don't want it to happen to myself. Everyone feel like this. Also, let's talk about the assign in speaking role. When we have our meetings, we ask our new members to work on meeting roles. We offer them. Sometimes they prefer to stay little longer, they wanted to observe, that's fine if that they want. But we need to use our words to invite them to engage in meeting roles. If we can see they are really happy to work on these things, we encourage them to do next meeting different thing like this, because that would help them to come out from their comfort zone, as well as us to have a complete agenda and work it very well, have a smooth, easygoing meeting. Also, like Anita talk about belongings, member involved in the club agenda. In addition to that, we ask our members to step up being a club officer after 6 months. Think about a new member. When you were a new member, when everything was new to you, you look up everything. Sometime maybe you were a little bit confused. Maybe you are excited, curious to make it happen. You heard club officer training, so many things, right? Then when they asked that moment you to be a first time club officer, how did you feel? I was so happy. I was such an atom. I was ready all the time to attend 15 minutes early, go there, because I felt that I had lot of energy on Tuesday afternoon to be there. Not only that, I can see myself is preparing to be there early. It is such a, like Marjorie shared with us after glowing before the meeting. I felt that when she said that, because I never worried about that 1 hour or 1.5 hour. I keep that time slot separately for that moment, because I know how engaging, how entertaining, as well as how my energy shifted high after every Toastmasters meeting. Let's talk about the third one in these key points: fellowship, variety, and communication. We talk about we welcome guests warmly, and one important thing is enjoyable educational meeting. I always believe this Toastmasters meeting is an educational meeting. So many things, tiny, tiny things, even we would not think about these things. We learn every meeting. That's why this program really helpful. Before I became a Toastmaster, I have seen these things, but I never pay my attention to these tiny things. But I never realized, even though these are tiny things, that would help me to grow one day and apply one at a time. Toastmasters really opened my eyes and helped me to look at these things. When I understood, when I studied, and when I saw this is the pathway I am going there one at a time, it really made me happy. When we talk about this enjoyable education meeting, some clubs has a theme. It that theme could be anything you like. Maybe Women's Day, maybe Thanksgiving Day, maybe game day, something else, Christmas Day. I have seen how club members dress up according to that one, have a theme. As an example, let's say Christmas Day. Then their theme is a Christmas Day. They have a table topics related to Christmas theme, speeches related to Christmas theme, word of the day. They brought a related Christmas related word. And poem. One of my club had a poem and a joke. All 5 things related to Christmas theme. We really excited, curious what is going to happen, because we know everyone going to bring completely different things to share with everyone. That is one learning. We learn from each other. We are curious what is going to happen in this team meeting. Also, I hope you all heard about Pikakucha. One time, my club had the Pikakucha night. We love that one. It is not a exactly same traditional Toastmaster meeting, but we engage our members. Also, we ask guests to attend. We invited people. It is a challenging in Pika Puja night because you are going to see the slideshow. You are going to present something to someone created slideshow, and we created that night, it's like a competition. We had a tiny goodies to share with everyone. So you can do these things in your club. We love to have our traditional meeting. At the same time, we wanted to have a little bit different thing. That's the way we engage with our members. We share things and we work as a team. Collaboration and entertainment, engaging, everything's come because this is different than our traditional thing. I encourage all of you to work on these things in your club. Have a separate thing, maybe after 3 months. Try to get together in one meeting. Maybe you want to go outing as a club or have a dinner or lunch or something different. Even if your club is in a Zoom meeting, do something different because everyone love to have feel happy, entertained, and engaging. Also, after the meeting, always remind them, aware them, what are the things going on, the area, division, district. Because when we have a new member, completely different for things. I remember when I was a new member, I didn't know when they talk about club officer training. I didn't know what are the contests. That time we had a fall contest as well as a spring contest. Two contests I remember I participated. I love these season time contest time because I always wanted to be a contest functionary. I love being a timer, ballot counter, judge. These are such a different experience brought to me, and I love to connect with because that time it was in person things, and we went there, we shared, we got to know people, created a professional network all the time. Share these things, bring these announcement, talk about when you hear about open houses, interconnect club events, as well as district events like a learning lab. Get a 2-3 minutes, and after the meeting, share these announcement. Maybe very first time that new member wouldn't know, but when the person here, they would know always. If they like to know, invite them. If they have a question, ask them, let them to ask question. That's the way we would create a strong network with people. Even that's the way we build our team to ask people to join as a leader in this journey. If you do not share these announcements, nobody knows. So sometime even district send an email. Maybe they would not open the email. They didn't know. Maybe even they open the email, they have no idea. But that is the good platform. After your club meeting, talk about this announcement. Introduce them. This is the what we are doing. That is the district is doing. When it come from the club, that is very convenient for new members, and they love to engage things. Then always, some club has club newsletters, website, but some club do not have. But it doesn't matter. That's the club structure. But if we have a good communication, when we do it in an effective way, that would really help all of us to make it happen. Have a sustainable club, healthy club. Everyone engage there. Maybe they cannot engage in 100% like you do, but they would try to put their whole effort, whole heart when they feel welcome and try to make it happen. When they feel welcome and they wanted to be a part of there. That is the important thing. We want to give them a chance. We wanted to show them these are the opportunities. If you like, you can engage and make it happen. So that is the third one, fellowship, variety, and communication. Let's move on to program planning, meeting organization. It is very important, as Anita also shared with us. We do have an agenda. It could be changed anytime. I understand. But it is good to share with them what I understood. Some members are completely fine. They look at the agenda, even they were not assigned for meeting roles, they were able to present themselves. No problem at all. But it is not for everyone. Some members needed time. They wanted to study. They wanted to learn what is going to happen. They wanted to feel them comfortable, present in front of everyone. So we need to give this time duration for them to get ready. That's why it is good to publicize the agenda advance. Also, when we have a new member, when we ask them to assign in the meeting role, as I said, we have to assign a mentor. But imagine we cannot find a mentor or it didn't happen. But as a club, we have to aware what they are going to do. When we invite someone to, would you like to be our timer? Would you like to be our table topic speaker? They didn't know, right? That the first time they step in, if they didn't attend any other meeting in Toastmasters, they had a zero idea. Some people would like to catch up early, catch up quickly from previous table topic speaker and present themselves. But it is always good when we ask a new guest to participate in table topics, give an explanation, so that person feel very comfortable. Then he or she would decide, am I going to do it or am I not going to do it? It doesn't matter. But we have to show the platform, we have to give the opportunities for them to make it happen. Because we will always want them to feel comfortable among our audience. Also, other important thing is the pathway speeches. As we know, there are some members like to do, there are some members do not like pathway, but it is a different story. But everyone like to improve their speaking. Everyone love to do an icebreaker. As a club, we love to hear icebreaker speeches because that's the place we are going to know who they are. We are going to have our members in our club and we are communicate with them. That's the place is my interesting speeches. Always we promote icebreaker speeches. In the agenda, first speech is an icebreaker speech because we respect icebreaker speeches. I'm not saying we do not respect other speeches, but we always promote. That is the place our new member going to start on pathways and start on his or her speaking journey. So that's why we promote icebreaker and we respect it. It is the first number one in the agenda speeches. Also, as we discussed, very creative table topic session. Also, open these table topics question to open-ended question. Provide them these guidance. They don't want to exactly answer for these table topic question. What I learned being a table topic speaker, I don't have to answer exactly the question. There is no yes or no answer. The meaning behind it is the impromptu speaking. In impromptu speaking, we practice on our feet. We try to say something to answer the question, or we build our confidence to say things. I had a very difficult time in my many Toastmasters meeting. I had to go in front of the podium. I was speechless. Many nights. Have been thinking, what is wrong with me? Why I cannot answer any question? But it took some time for me to understand. It is not like I have to answer exactly the answer to this question. It took time for my brain to practice. When I learned that one, what I did, I tried to convert the question to something else and try to answer. When I was a table topic master, I announced that one when I introduced this is as a table topic master my job. I told them, if you think you can answer this question, you are completely fine. Please answer. If you think you don't know the answer, say something related to this question. Or you can convert into a completely different way. Uh, the important thing is say something. Use that 2 minutes of time and practice yourself to answer things. Think on your feet. I can see that really helped to myself as well as it really helped to my club members when we practice these things. Very important thing, Anita, in here, program planning and meeting organization. Start on time, end on time. We respect our time. Sometime one of my meeting, I remember everyone was so engaged in talk so many things. It was past 1.5 hours. But what we realized after some certain time, we have all those members who like to be there, but when we had a guest, we can see they are not showing up because we always announced in the website, in our public media, it is 1 hour. That's why time is very important. Begin on time, be functional, and end on time. Maybe 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe when we have an induction ceremony, when we do an announcement, it would get a little late, but that is fine. But try to be on time so everyone feel welcome and respect their time. We need to exactly make it happen. It is something I really learned from being a Toastmaster. Start on time, end on time. That is very helpful for me because when I said start on time, we went 15 minutes early, we get ready 15 minutes. Sometime if when we like it, we stayed after 15 minutes also because we wanted to have a chat, we wanted to share our things as a club. it, Everyone does not want to do that. That's why we respect everyone's time. If we like to stay there, that is completely fine. But that is one important thing. Let's talk about the fifth one, membership strength. We know we need to have 20 members to have a strong club. But when we if our club is in a good standing, if we follow this moment of truth, if we look at this evaluation guide, it is not very difficult for us to have more guests and increase our membership. When we invite members, when we follow these things, that really help to have a quality meeting and continue what we are doing in our meeting. One thing I realize, if our meeting are entertaining, engaging, and happy, if it would bring joy to our meeting, we would not worry about the member retention. It's already there because it's value. Everyone's their membership is valued. They are gaining something. We are making it happen. Joy is everywhere. That's why this club are very successful club and member retention is it is important there and it is happening there. Also, the promotion in a club. When you realize there are some event like a farmer's market. Some club has opening houses there. Or when you realize you have a podcast, when I was in Rolla, I always put the club information in that the radio station in Rolla. I send an email and I know they announce about this our Toastmasters club. That is really helpful. People got to know. After I did that one as a VPR, when some members show up, when some guests show up, I would ask, right, like a normal question, how did you hear about our club? Then they said they listened to the radio. I was very happy about that because in this digital world, everyone like to look at the social media and things, right? I'm talking about 2013, by the way. But when you can do that, still there are some people listen to radio, look at the local newspapers. But if you can promote your club using this social media, that would help you. When you have an open house, when you have a Pikakucha night or something else, special event, always try to promote in these things also. That would really help you to gain more audience in your event. We talk about new member induction, also recognition of the new member, also announce that when somebody bring a guest and convert into the member, that person is the one who sponsored that one. Announce these things in the induction ceremony. When you announced Marjorie sponsored Yanika, I'm giving you example, then everyone in your club, they wanted to be a sponsor, they wanted to bring guest. That happen. Make it a habit. Always recognize it's very important to have a quality club. So practice these things in your club meeting. It won't take 2-3 minutes to recognize who are the sponsored, who are the mentor. Practice these things in your club meeting. That is the membership strength. When we do that one, everyone would bring. Also, encourage your club members to invite their family and friend. I wanted to share this one with you. In my very first time, when I being a VPM, I am not a salesperson in my life. It was very difficult for me to sell something to someone else. From my childhood, I realized I don't have that capacity. But being a VPM in a Toastmaster club, I learned how to explain this is Toastmasters does. This is the value of being a member. That's what really helped me, and I am 100% sure it would help you. Attend our meeting, look at it, and see if you are going to fit there. That's what I said. I did not exactly say when I spread the word, okay, you can be a member, because we don't know they like to be a member or not. But spread the word. That was really help. I realized how much effort I had to put myself to come out from my comfort zone to say this one. So practice it. If you practice, it would feel very comfortable to you. Also, the last one I am going to talk about, achievement recognition. This is very important thing. As a vice president education, this is very important. In my Toastmasters journey, I always believe Bob Heaton as a vice president education. He did a fantastic job in my journey. I always recognize him. I was a club president and he was a vice president education. Every 3 months, what he did, he brought a presentation, maybe 15 minutes presentation, he presented. In that presentation, all members, he recognized this member complete this many speeches, this many meeting role. In our club, we had a full cycle award. Full cycle award has like a 10 meeting role, like a speaker, Toastmaster of the day, general evaluator, table topic master, joke master, poet laureate, and so many things. These meeting roles are different club to club. It doesn't matter how many or what are their differences, but you can create these things. Full cycle award. Because some members are very comfortable to be a timer for every time. We don't want it. We want a variety. We want them to participate in a different meeting role and try these things and get the challenge and face these things. When you have a full cycle award, when they complete all, imagine 10 meeting roles, and when they complete 10 meeting role, it is a one cycle. Then our VPE recognize them after the meeting. This person, this member complete this full cycle award. And not only that, imagine Anita has completed 8 out of 10. And that also announced Anita has to do 2 more to complete this full cycle award. Can you see that? When we announce, when we recognize, we did not mean Anita did not, what I mean, we valued Anita's 8 out of 10. We encourage Anita to do 2 more. That is really helpful to bring our meeting to have a good energy, and everyone welcome. Like this, he encouraged everyone to saying you have this many role to complete and do that. Not only that, for the level completion, always in our hybrid meeting, if they attend in person, we ask president to share, hand over the certificate and recognize in front of everyone. If they are Zoom someone joining from, and if they complete level 1, we shared in the screen, this is our certificate, the level 1 completion, and we recognize these things. Not only that, we put it in our social media. That recognition is really important for the member retention and good standard club. Also, when we have an area director visit, we valued that area director's time and we respect it. We welcome very nice way, and we gave a chance to participate in a meeting role. Not only that, we always recognize saying this person is here for our club visit. It is same to all. District director visit, program quality director, club growth director, maybe division director, maybe someone from, you invited someone from Toastmaster International. Recognize the person and respect their time. That's what we do. This is something I learned being a Toastmaster. Always respect people and recognize people. That is real. How do, if you attend to the someone else meeting and when they recognize you, how do you feel? Think about. I always try to put things in my shoe and think about, this is how this is the way I felt. So I want others to feel same thing. That is very good practice, I believe, because when you are happy, when you try to make everyone happy, you have a good collaboration with everyone and try to make things happen. Also, one more thing I wanted to share with you. Imagine Joy Smith, your club member, received some award from somewhere else, some company or some organization. If you are know about this one, this is not related to Toastmasters. That is fine. But recognize that one in that moment. Maybe Joy Smith's birthday. Say that one in your Toastmasters meeting. People feel very happy and engaging and entertaining. I remember in my club when we had our members' birthday on Toastmaster meeting day, it was like a potluck. We shared, it is not a lot of things, maybe tiny things like afterglow. We celebrate that one in our meeting after the meeting. That's what we want. That's the way we build our community. In addition to that, I talk about as a VP is share charts and display things and talk about these things and recognize everyone, their achievements and club members achievement, mentor achievements, and also aware them when you complete your distinguished club program. It is not a one person's job. As a community, we are making towards it. So always mention it and aware everyone. We, talk to them. We do not have this many goals complete, but we encourage our new members to work on these things. So when you explain the value, numbers are not the very important thing, but when we explain the truth behind it, how that would important for their journey, we don't need to worry about these numbers. It would automatically fill when we work on things. That's, I always believe, members, we have to pay attention to members. We have to help them. When we do that, we don't need to worry about area success, division success, or district success. It starts from the member at a time. It starts from the club. We help each other to learn and grow. That's what I learned from studying these 6 key points in Moment of Truth. First impression, member orientation, fellowship, variety and communication, program planning and meeting organization, member strength, achievement recognitions. So, what I recommend, what I suggest you to try to do Moment of Truth in your club, maybe after every 4 months. Remind them. If you are missing something, your club members will catch it and try to apply it in the future meeting. That would really help as a club to stay in a healthy and sustainable club. That's what we want. We want to good club to help for everyone to bring joy, engaging, entertaining. That's what Moment of Truth provide. So I believe I do have let me I do have something. It is a checklist. I put it into the chat so you can use that one. Try to do this presentation, because when you do the Moment of Truth presentation, it was in the Successful Club series. You would get a credit. You can complete this one. It would help for you to complete your credit. Not only that, everyone would refresh their mind, and it would help for everyone to stay in the same boat and follow these things. So I encourage all of you to do this presentation in your club to stay in a healthy club. Thank you, Shala.
Umanga! Yay! So everyone, if we look at the time, we're still on time because we value your time. Does anyone have any questions for Umanga? Please make sure before you leave, you get the information that's in the chat so you can pass that on. Now, does anyone have any questions about the fantastic presentations that we've had today? Does anyone have any questions for our Club Growth Director? Yay, we're all going to use these moments of truth and move forward. Anetta, I see your hand is up. Anetta, the stage is yours. Oh, you're
You
on.
talked about
Okay,
the
yes.
frequency or of conducting moments of truth. And thank you so much for the worksheet. That is valuable. And it also helps with retention as well. You recommend, let me say this. I recommend at least quarterly because it helps you keep a good eye on what's happening. And it also empowers you to speak with your area director when they do their club visit. That input that you gleaned from that moments of truth lets her have a good view of what the climate is within the club, how it's viewed, the perspective of the club. And I just wanted to share that, and not really a question. I apologize.
No, Santa, thanks.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Annetta. And we see Vicky's hand is up. Vicky, what question or
Yeah,
comment
thank
do you
you.
have?
My question's for Umanga. Can you tell me how long you would allocate on an agenda for a moments of truth?
Okay, can you repeat the question? I didn't hear exactly what is your question.
Sure. My question is, how long would you allocate a moments of truth on your agenda?
Or do you think in our presentation, in the agenda presentation, how long?
Yes.
Okay. In the successful club series, these presentations were 15 to 20 minutes.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Yes. But if you do not have a 15 to 20 minutes, according to your agenda, you can make it to 5 to 7 minutes. Try to squeeze some things like a do not spend lot of time, but it is always good to talk about at least get a 15 to 20 minutes. That's what in the original books, 15 to 20 minutes in successful club series. That's what I did in my in-person meeting. I do remember. But sometimes
Thank you.
I had to do recently, I spoke 10 minutes because according to the agenda, I did not spend a lot of time. But if
Thank
you
you very
do
much.
every 3 months, that would really help. It's just remembering. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you,
Yeah,
Shala.
thank
Yes,
you.
thank you, Vicky. And also, you can create a survey that you can send out to your members, and it's the Moments of Truth survey. So your people can spend time and fill that out ahead of time. And then maybe if you have your meeting, you can highlight some of those things that were found. But we have another hand, and we see Marjorie. Marjorie, please let us know your question or comment.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda, for your presentation. A couple of my clubs have an education minute section on the agenda, which is usually 2 to 3 minutes. We've given like 2 sections of moments of truth, and then at the next meeting, another 2 sections of moment of truth, and then at the next meeting, another 2 sections of the moments of truth. So it was all covered in 2 to 3 minutes, then 2 to 3 minutes, then 2 to 3 minutes. We've done that a couple of times throughout the year because people forget. But the members appreciated the refresher of that. And a couple of my clubs, they didn't hand out the survey. The survey is a couple pages long, but they handed out the 1 page sheet for members to make comments and share at the executive meetings.
That is true. That's the one beauty of Moment of Truth. It is short and sweet. Just click, click, click things. I love that one. So when I look at it, I always go to the 1 page sheet and see, am I following these things? What are these things? So also one more thing I wanted to share with you. When you have a club executive meeting, bring this Moment of Truth sheet and share with the club executive committee, because all in the executive committee, all officers are there. Then you all are at the same page. When you share, when you discuss, okay, we can see we are not in there yet, but we wanted to. Next month, we are going to focus on this part of the Moment of Truth. Like this, please discuss these things with your club executive, club officers in the executive meeting. Thank you, Shala.
And thank you, Marjorie, for your question. Thank you, Umanga, for your answer. Do we have any other questions? We have counting down a few seconds left. Does anyone have any questions? We see Marty, thank you for joining us. Lynn, thank you for joining us. And we have another person on. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you for joining us. Did you all have a question? Yannicka, did you have any questions? I saw you smiling and writing and taking notes, so it's like, I know you were busy and engaged. Do we have any questions from anyone? Okay. Well, with that, because we value your time, and Umanga, thank you so much for sharing with us the importance of moments of truth. I know we have some wonderful takeaways that we can share with all of our clubs and members so that we can all learn and grow together. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us for today's Learning Lab. We had two amazing presenters, and I know we're walking away today a little bit smarter, a little bit better, and prepared to meet the challenges that may arise. Thank you all for joining today's Learning Lab. Have a wonderfully productive week.
Thank you all.
You.